Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Are we starting soon enough for you, Dana?
It's acceptable.
It's you don't want to give too much, right?
Yeah.
You need to, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show, everybody. As I have in the live chat, and as is on the thumbnail and the title of the live stream, we we just
Just
so
making
there's
sure.
just so there's no
No doubt.
confusion. We will be watching Hilda tonight. We'll be watching episode.
Wait, what?
We'll be watching Hilda tonight.
Hang on. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You forgot?
No.
We will be watching Hilda tonight. Jason does that all the time on late seating. He'll be like, "What movie?" Because he always lets me say the title of the movie. He's like, "So, what movie are we reviewing this week, Steve?" And I'll say, "We're reviewing that classic blah 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 movie." Like
Have you?
whatever the Silence of the Lambs, and he'll be like, "Oh no, I accidentally watched the spoof version, Silence of the Hams, or whatever." Except when he does it, it's funnier.
Or Lord of the Rings.
Oh God. I accidentally watched the porn version, but
you could just have dinner and watch. Although you may be having dinner with people who don't care about Hilda, which that would be really sad.
In this context,
or maybe they just don't. Maybe they just don't care about us, which is fine.
But so we will be watching Hilda, episode 11 of season 1, The House in the Woods. So that's what we're all. So if you haven't got Netflix queued up yet, go ahead and queue it up and get ready to go, and have it paused on 0 so we can count in. But before we watch the episode, of course, as has become our custom here at Trek Reluctantly, we are going to spend 15 or 20 minutes at the start just kind of shooting the breeze. So let the breeze shooting commence. How are you, Dana? Loaded question.
Yeah, that wasn't supposed to be a trick question, was it?
I thought it was straightforward, but upon further reflection, I can understand why there would be, some hesitance, or at least there would be some thought required before you can come up with a good answer.
Well, could be worse.
Huh?
It could be worse.
It could be worse. Ah, yes.
I'm trying to stay positive. Stay positive.
So you're back to school this week, but as of today, you haven't had students back yet. Students don't come back till tomorrow. But you've been back to work, so.
Yep.
Hence your current attitude.
Meetings, being told what to do. Yay! Oh, hey, shoot, pizza's here already. Heck yeah! They said I wasn't getting it till like 7.
Well, that's
a
crazy.
Good surprise.
Yeah.
So so I'm doing much better now.
I was just going to say, given the arrival of pizza, would you like to revise your previously
My evening has improved significantly, Steve. Now there is not only Hilda and all of you wonderful people, there's also pizza. Woo-hoo!
You're like, I guess I don't know. It could be worse. Pizza's here. Oh, great.
Again, could be worse. I could have not pizza.
That's true. And Corey, by the way, that's very terrible. I'm very sorry to hear that. Hopefully
that sucks.
Hopefully you two are both okay. I mean, you test.
Yeah.
You have it, but you don't get too ill because yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. About the snake big cat. The joke I had locked and loaded for the porn version of Lord of the Rings, if I had had a chance to follow that up just a minute ago, would have been.
Well, now you do.
I know. Isn't it great how life works out?
On your own channel.
It's the only porn version that's actually shorter than the original.
Oh.
That's my. How about, or here, I just thought of another one. It's the only porn version where the original is more masturbatory than the porn version.
Yeah, but for
Different
So,
contexts.
but why the porn versions are usually longer than the original?
Please enlighten me. Tell me.
Because they've got multiple takes. Otherwise,
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Anyway, moving on.
Porn version is less repetitive. There, that's the last one. Okay. So yes, you have been back to school. Until the pizza got here, it was not going so great, but now things are better.
Hey, Shaw.
Snake big cat, I like that. Okay, 9 to rule them all, and I'll leave it at that.
There's so many places you can go with that too.
So
much possibility.
The mind races with the possibilities.
Dude, we're about to watch a kid's show.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. I was gonna make that exact.
I beat you to it.
I was gonna make that exact joke. So who's ready to watch Hilda? 255 AD says, and by the way, yeah, this is referencing Don't Look Up, which was the subject of my video that went up today. I've not seen it, but my problem with the premise of Don't Look Up is a comet isn't comparable to climate change or COVID. It's a thing you can shoot at, not a collective action problem. Well, it's not a perfect metaphor, but I mean,
I would disagree there because, yeah, it's a thing that one person could shoot at, but that's not going to do anything. I mean, I think they still, even in the movie, they were looking for collective actions to like get the rockets and stuff. And I haven't even seen the movie either.
It is, I will say,
it is an object.
It is not comparable. An impending comet impact is not comparable to climate change in many important ways, but within the context of this story and what the story is about, and especially the things that the story is satirizing, I think it's actually a really, really good comparison. I think it is a very apt metaphor because, like you said, Dan, it calls for a collective response, and it is a situation where the solution to the problem is actually pretty well known. Like, we know what we need to do, but we, in terms of climate change, and in the characters in the movie, in terms of the comet, they decide not to do the thing that they need to do for very dubious reasons. So I think in the things that the movie concerns itself with, I think it's a pretty good match.
The one thing, and I think I already told you this, was the one quibble that I have is that they change what they're doing so that, like, for the purpose of making more money. They want to monetize it.
Yes.
Whereas I think the response to climate change is we don't want to do anything differently because we might not make as much money.
Yeah, and again,
and I think that's I think it's an important distinction because it's also something that we see with like anti-vaxxers. Like, it's like we don't want to do something. There's a fear of doing something that could be harmful. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they see the vaccine as harmful, and so there's just not to do something. Whereas, and you might not get COVID, but if you get COVID, it's not your fault. It's just something that happens to you. Like someone else infected you, and that's not your fault. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, but if you get the vaccine and something happens, then that's your fault because you did something. It's action versus inaction.
If I hadn't done that, then I would have been fine.
Exactly. Yeah. And inaction is, an easier course than choosing to do something and saying, this is what we're going to do.
Sure.
And that's,
because if you do nothing, or at least if in your mind you have done nothing and then you get sick, well, then that's something that happened to you.
Yes, very much. I mean, it's a thing with students, like not turning in their work because like they're not confident, they aren't really sure what they're doing, or they skipped a bunch of class or whatever, then if they fail, well, it doesn't really reflect on them because they tell themselves that, and you'll see this in surveys of students who don't graduate. They're all like, if school had been more interesting, I would have graduated. you can say that all you want.
Yeah, that's a nice excuse.
Yeah, but and you may really believe that, and maybe it's true, but you can't know for sure what would have happened. But you chose to withdraw you chose to sign the forms and withdraw from school, and it wasn't just something that happened.
Yeah.
Or maybe you got expelled or whatever. Oh, yeah.
And by the way, happy birthday, Caitlin. I'm sorry that you couldn't join us last time and that you haven't been feeling well, but happy birthday. I'm glad you could make it tonight.
I'm sorry you were chronically fatigued. I hope you were chronically fatigued over your birthday, because that would super suck.
Yeah. And yeah, I wasn't thinking specifically of like, that the example that Caitlin cites in that chat message, but if there are ways in which people think climate change could be monetized, I'm quite sure that they would be,
right. But
there will be people within our society pursuing that.
I'm sure people will pursue, there's a possibility of the Northwest Passage, but I think it would be a stretch to say that people deliberately created global warming so that the Arctic would melt, so that they would have the Northwest Passage. Well, they were trying to do other things that happened to, that would make them money, that happened to create climate change.
But people, in the movie, people didn't create the comet either. They just, they willfully chose not to pursue the safer option in order to pursue a much riskier option, because that was the option that if successful, would have allowed them to monetize it.
Yes. No. I am blaming them for the choices that they made, which maybe, like the choice to withdraw yourself from school, that's your choice. Now, that may have been the best choice for you, but to say if school had been more interesting, it's rarely, I've never found it to be that simple. Never found it to be that simple.
Yeah.
There's usually a lot more going on.
It sounds like an excuse. Maybe it's a legitimate one.
No, it's an oversimplification.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm saying that our perceptions are not always the same as truth. But that doesn't mean that they are invalid as far as being perceptions. They do still matter. Oh, winter sun. Oh, yeah. So I'm just. Yeah, don't die, Steve.
No, I won't, because this is my Bryan Danielson shirt. Nothing bad can happen to me while I'm wearing my American Dragon shirt. Come on.
Why would you say that?
What's the worst that could happen? I'll be right back. No, I would not tempt fate that much.
Sanjel, I hope you enjoy Hilda. It's a great TV show, and it's short and fun. And
yes.
Did I mention fun? It's fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's very charming. It's a very charming show. Mm-hmm. And by the way, and just one more thing about Pedro, the red shirt is only a threat if you are a Star Trek character, and I am not currently in character as my Ensign's Log character. And also, now that my Ensign's
Log are wearing a NASA hat.
Yeah, but NASA no longer exists in the 24th century. And also, because we are now in the TNG era, it's not red shirts that have to worry, because the command division wears red. Now it's gold shirts, which, is what my character is. but I'm not wearing gold. So no matter which way you slice it, I'm good.
I'm sure some people, 255 AD, I'm sure some people do use it as an excuse not to make schools more engaging, but.
And Sandra, we haven't started the episode yet. We'll start in a few minutes, and I'll count us in. Yeah. And there'll be a time code along the top for you if you fall out of sync with us, or you need to stop and come back, you can catch up. But we haven't started yet. We're still doing our chitter chatter.
Yeah. I think it tends to be very reductionist. And I've never liked survey questions that say, pick one. Why didn't you finish school? And it's like, it's so open-ended. And I've never had a student who, withdrew from school that there wasn't just a lot going on.
Yeah.
Just a lot.
Well, because that's a big decision.
For a while. It's not something that's like, I'm not interested in school anymore. I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
It goes on for a long time. It is, a failure, not just of the educational system, but of our, it's a public education system. It is a public failure.
Well, and also, I mean, sort of touching a little bit on something related to what 255 AD said about, an excuse for not making schools more engaging. Don't you think one of the best ways to make school more engaging to students would be to give individual teachers more leeway in how they teach their classes? And yet that seems to be something that the general public, especially people who are like really vociferous critics of the education system, like that seems to be something they don't want. They want to standardize everything. And I have in theory, I have no problem with standardization as an idea, but I mean, there are certain times when, you need to give the individual the freedom to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can we not?
I know. I'm just saying. You haven't said
a word. I know.
You haven't said a word. I'm just saying. If the problem is school
You're
isn't
still
engaging
saying.
enough, if the problem is school isn't engaging enough, teachers should have more freedom to run their classes and connect with their students on a personal level. I'm done.
Good. Let's watch the show.
If you want to watch the show, okay. And Arnold Jot, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, my friend. I apologize, but Arnyat Arnston says, really appreciated You Don't Look Up video. Hope you'll do a review on it. For one who loved it, it's such a tease to hear that you had some minor issue. I'm probably not going to do like a proper movie review of it. I think the video I made,
except possibly in another 10 years.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it on late seating.
Late seating,
if it becomes like an important cultural thing, but
or at least if Jason thinks so.
Yeah, but no. I mean, what I said in the video is pretty much.
And you picked the right door.
Yes, exactly. Oh man, did I tell you? I did, but I don't know if you remember. I picked the right one this time because the next movie we're reviewing that we're recording this weekend. I can't wait. One of my all-time favorites, Unforgiven. Oh.
I think you told me that.
Yeah,
but we were talking about about the Karate Kid because Mr. Miyagi showed up in Baywatch.
Well, that was a couple of days ago, but I remember last week whenever our last podcast recording was, I remember Jason and I we were still actually recording the episode, and I messaged you about it, and it was all caps. I just texted you Unforgiven in all caps because I was so excited.
Yes, I remember that. Now that you mentioned that, I remember that. Like,
Arnliot. Thank you, Arnliot. Yeah. But yeah, so Unforgiven. So I get to watch that on Saturday, and we review it on Sunday, and I'm super, super excited about that.
Okay, Pedro, you've made me very curious. How and why is the controversy around the video worse in Brazil?
Yeah, that's interesting. But and yeah, 255 AD. I think Caitlin might be right about that.
Caitlin threw me off because of the space there and also the upper cases.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
Like, what is completely gone by that point? I don't think it was around yet.
I mean, it wasn't there, but
but for a different reason.
But I think Caitlin is probably right there that by 2063, because 2063 is after World War III, so I don't think the U.S. government existed at that point. So I don't think NASA was there, but yeah.
It's on Netflix USA.
It's the Netflix show, yeah. So yeah, so if you're not, so everybody who need, especially those of you who have never watched it before, take a minute, fire it up on Netflix. We're watching episode 11, The House in the Woods, season 1, episode 11. So go ahead and get that all set up, and we will watch the episode here in just a minute. Yes, Snake the
All
Cat.
right.
It's a great sequel to Yojimbo.
Hi, David.
Actually, the
yes,
A Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More are the Western versions of Yojimbo and its sequel Sanjuro. I don't know if I would say Unforgiven is necessarily it belongs in the same line as Yojimbo, but it's it's a Clint Eastwood Western, and it has commonalities with a lot of classic Clint Eastwood Westerns. That's kind of part of what makes it so cool, is that it's sort of Eastwood's capstone statement for Westerns. But yeah.
Sarah's not here.
you got to nuke somebody. Woohoo!
First time.
You'll remember it always.
Now I know how to do it, which is important
because of what's coming up this weekend.
Mm-hmm. But let's do the show. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that after. Okay, so hopefully everybody is all set up and ready to go. Dana, are you ready to go? Do you need to refresh Netflix?
Waiting on you, dude.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then everybody get ready. And you think it's pretentious that they call it Chapter 11? Or maybe a little. I don't know. But anyway, okay, so we're going to watch Hilda, episode 11, Chapter 11, The House in the Woods. I'm going to count us in from 3. I'll do 3, 2, 1, play. Everybody hit play when I say play, and we'll watch the episode. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Uh, 255 AD. No, it started out as a graphic novel.
Right, so I guess it makes sense in that context. Sorry, Caitlin. Hopefully you can catch up with the time code.
Maybe just skip the intro.
If you hit skip intro at exactly the right time.
Yeah, you'll be roughly with us.
Yeah. Oh God, there's flying sperm.
But Pedro, I'm confused. Did they think it was like a documentary? Like that it was lying, that it was trying to say that there really was a comet coming towards the Earth?
That would be funny if that was the answer. There wasn't any comet. Who are these people trying to fool?
Liberal nonsense.
There's my man.
He's dealing off the bottom of the deck.
Well, maybe that's how they play. Maybe he's not cheating.
That might be never.
You called it.
Oh, don't.
Oh God, it's a character from a Miyazaki film.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Andrew, I do like sushi. What'd you get?
I like sushi too on cheat day. Can't have it during the week, but on Saturday
You
sometimes I get
could.
it.
You could
I
have
could.
vegetarian
I
sushi.
I could if I. Well, that's true. That's true.
Eggs and mango. All kinds of
Cucumber.
good stuff. Cucumber. Mm.
I'd probably survive that. Oh, it's just like a bank. It's the Bunny Express.
And Birdie, Bunny and Birdie Express.
The Birdie Express.
Oh. Ah, wow. Diversity.
Good enough. She's eating a bag of jorts? That's probably dry. They're awfully small. He's a planner, Woodman.
It's in it for the long game.
Yeah, exactly.
Use it now. 255 AD. Oh, what? You mean Alfred not being listened to, or?
Yeah, do you mean 255 AD? Do you mean the bit where like she doesn't see Alfred when he has the
letter? Yeah.
It's not a great bit, but you know, it doesn't. It's a little cutesy. Sangel, there are certain similarities.
Uh-oh.
I mean, if you're in the woods with a guy named Woodman who's made of wood and he doesn't know how to get out of the woods, you're pretty much screwed. Good thing the envelope is waterproof.
Good for her. That's a good mom.
You have gone city.
He's just turned around. So picky.
I love the way he just lays the hell down right where he's at.
No. Pedro, I think you should. But it is set after the 2 seasons. Caitlin, it's like one thing.
Okay, this is Farpoint Station. It has everything they want. This is like the first episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. There's obviously something going on at this house. Hey, Kemp, it is Bryan Danielson, one of my favorite wrestlers, who is fighting for the world title tonight.
Exciting.
Again.
Because
last time was a time limit draw. So tonight's the rematch.
Is it a time limit this time?
It's still a time limit, but now there's going to be judges. So if they go the full hour this time, the judges will determine the winner.
Caitlin, that's fair. Aw.
Isn't it amazing how they seem to always have exactly what you want? Oh.
Done. I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we can get out through the attic. Maybe we can jump for it. I like that, Caitlin. Asher's unreleased rural cabin in the woods painting. And yeah, Kemp, as Corey said, it's AEW that I'm talking about. Oh, never mind. Boy, there's all kinds of tropes going on here. After the episode's over, I'll have to see if I can compile all of the tropes and all of the things that it's reminding me of.
Dun, dun, dun.
Everything okay?
Yes.
Good.
House does not seem to be having trouble keeping up.
Yeah. We've almost killed the house. Oh, cool. They get to keep the stuff. In 255 AD, I don't know. I've never played Mario 64. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Oh, saw that coming. That's a good one, Arniot. Ask the house for a PlayStation 5. That'll break it.
Oh, come on.
I mean, you've lived there for a few months.
Aw.
Oh, I love the Woodman so much.
You got him in this episode. Hooray!
He's far. I mean, I like a lot of the characters. Don't get me wrong. I'm not meaning to throw shade at the other characters. But Woodman is.
I'm going to go ahead and do it anyhow.
Well, no, I mean, he's just. It's not even close. Like, he's far and away my favorite character on the show, and I'm totally fine with them using him sparingly. You know, like as long as when he shows up, it's good. And you know,
and it has been,
and this was good. Yeah. Well, I think this is the first time he's shown up since they moved to Trollberg, right? Because before that, he was sort of in the area and would just kind of be around. But yeah. So anyway, while you were out of the room, I said I think after the episode, I want to see if I can try to compile all of the different tropes and references or not necessarily direct references, but just things that this episode reminded me of.
Okay.
So I mentioned one already, which is the first episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, where there's Farpoint Station, which magically gives people who are there the things they want. It also reminds me of another Star Trek Next Gen episode. One of my favorites, actually. Especially from the earlier years, the Royale, which is where the away team gets trapped in a 20th century, what appears to be a 20th century hotel, that they can't leave. It has a revolving door, and every time they go out the door, it just revolves them right back in. So that's another one. And then there was something else that it reminded me of too that wasn't Star Trek related, believe it or not. But I can't think of what it was now. But there were a couple of other references or tropes that it put me in mind of. But I mean, it's a really good episode. I really liked it. I liked that it had like that sort of strong central concept, of like, oh, they get trapped in a house and the house gives them everything they want. Is
that really being trapped though?
It's not. Well, I mean, they couldn't leave until they figured out that they could just
tell the house that's what you want. I mean, there you go. Ta-da!
And yeah, Pedro, the look of the show, I think, is one of the best things about it. I like the color palette, I like the character design.
Yep.
I think we mentioned this last time, the last episode we watched, about the weather spirits. The character
designs are simple but not simplistic.
Yeah, the character design of the weather spirits is so simple, but it works so beautifully. Like, it's just like, oh, that's so perfect, Yeah. Yeah. And actually, Caitlin, technically, no, the Royale is season 2. So I think season 2 of TNG in general is very underrated. I mean, it's clearly not as good as it's going to be, but I don't think that's a bad season at all. There are a couple of really bad episodes in it, but there are also a couple of really, really good episodes in season 2, like the Royale. But anyway, yeah, this to take it back to Hilda, because that's what we're watching this week. I really liked it. I thought it was really good, and it was very nice to see the Woodman again, and to see him, to sort of stretch him a little bit, because up until this point he'd been kind of just a joke character. He's the guy who comes in uninvited, and this we get to see a little bit more of him, and it's a good example of how you can expand a character without changing him. Mm-hmm. Like we see him in different contexts, and we see a little bit more of him than we have before, but it still feels like him, So good episode. Yeah,
I'm so glad you liked it. What have you decided? What you may have said it, and I forget things. Haha, it's my thing. I forget. Me, Steve.
Unbelievable.
Me. Yes. No, it is believable.
It's very believable. But anyway, you were going to ask me something. Have I decided?
Next week, what are we watching?
Oh,
I mean, we're watching DS9. I know that. I remember
we
that.
We are.
I will have forgotten by next week.
Well, that's okay, because I'll remind you.
Thank you.
But yeah, we'll be skipping ahead. We'll be skipping about 3 or 4 episodes, which hurts because some of them are good episodes, but I want to move ahead a little bit. We're going to be watching the episode Blood Oath, which is a Dax episode, but is also a Klingon episode. And one of the cool thing about the episode, and kind of like the reason why the episode was noteworthy at the time, was that it features 3 guest stars who are playing Klingon characters, and they are the 3 original Klingons from classic Star Trek. And they are played by the same actors who played them in classic Star Trek. So it's Kor, the very first Klingon ever.
So are they're the same characters?
Same characters, same actors.
Wow, interesting.
Because this might be the episode that establishes that Klingons live a long time too.
Yes, that would make sense.
They established in previously like that Vulcans live a much longer lifespan than humans, and
Right.
For the Klingons being in Deep Space Nine, who had previously been seen in classic Trek, that's like 100 years before, they're like, oh screw it, yeah, Klingons live a long time too, and that was it. It's perfect. I'm like, yes, they don't time travel. There's no horse shit. It's like, oh no, they're just old. They live a long time. But yeah, so it's a really good episode.
No pressure. Everybody loves Blood Oath.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I will say, I mean,
yeah, I know, but it's not just you, Steve. It's like everybody else. Like, I mean, I don't mind letting you down, but it's everybody else. Thank you. I thought I did very well with that.
Oh, I'll disappoint you all goddamn day long. It's these people in the chat that I worry about.
I am here for you guys. I care about you, and I don't want to let you down. I hope I like it.
I hope you like it too.
Yeah, I know, but I don't care what you think.
I know, but I'm just throwing it out there.
That's not true. I only lie when it's fun. They're like you, Steve. They're old.
Oh, now. But yeah, so it's John Colicos as Kor, and William Campbell as Koloth, and Michael Ansara as Kang. Those are the three Klingons, and they were the first three like named sort of important Klingon guest characters on classic Star Trek. So it's pretty cool. And Kemp, you mentioned Maquis. After Blood Oath, or I guess actually beginning with Blood Oath, there's going to be a run where we're not going to skip that many episodes, because right after Blood Oath is the introduction of the Maquis, which is a 2-parter. So we're going to watch both of those. And then I think right after that is The Wire, which is a absolutely classic Garrick episode. So we can't skip that one. So there's going to be 3 or 4 episodes in a row that we're not going to skip any. But
Caitlin, I don't know what the question was.
You'll get it when you watch the episode.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about something else.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you want to talk about what you have coming up on Saturday? What do you have coming up on Saturday, Dana?
I have a video.
Not just a video.
A
special video.
It's my very first live stream.
Your very first live stream?
Well, my very first live stream
on your channel?
My channel.
So it's this Saturday at 6 Eastern is when we're doing it, or when you're doing it. I'll be in the chat. I won't be on with you, but I'll be in the chat.
No. Steve's not going to be on camera. Oh, nope. God.
It's your show. I'll be in the chat. I'll be available for tech support if necessary, but I will be close at hand, but I won't actually be on camera with you.
What was that? Was it Tom Cruise yelling for tech support?
Oh yes, in Vanilla Sky. Yes.
Yes! That's what it was. Yes. That's what it
was.
Tech
support.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
You got your mic.
Tech support. Yep.
Wow. I don't know why I got that. I had completely, I would not have been able to come up with that, the title at all, ever. I remember you liked the movie, though.
Yeah, I like Vanilla Sky. And I like the original that it's a remake of, which is Obre Los Ojos, which also stars Penelope Cruz in the exact same character. So like they did the American version and they were like, who are we going to get to play this character? Oh, fuck it. Just get Penelope Cruz.
she knows the part.
She knows the part. 255 AD. I don't know if I would not be, and I don't want to jinx it because we haven't watched those episodes yet.
Okay. I'll do it this way.
Oh, I think Dana's going to side with the Maquis.
Oh.
Okay. It's safe.
I don't know.
I made my prediction.
I think I know what you predicted, but I'm gonna try to not. I'll.
But I'll
forget by next week. Still won't matter.
Well, you'll really forget because that's not even next week. That's like 3 weeks from now, because that's not the next episode. That's the episode after the next episode. So yeah.
And then we got a Hilda in between.
And then we got a Hilda in between. Yeah. But yeah, that is my prediction.
Okay.
Oh, Pedro, yes, I have seen Kagemusha. It's a great movie. Oh, I believe that. I think that it's not Kurosawa's last movie, but it's his last, like, really, really, like, great, definitive Kurosawa movie. Oh yeah.
So after that, he just made crap.
Actually, no, I'll take that back. Kagemusha isn't his last, because he made Ron after that. And so Kagemusha and then Ron, because Ron wasn't until like 1985. Ron is fucking spectacular. I think Ron is even better than Kagemusha. But yes, I've seen Kagemusha. It's terrific. It's terrific. Oh, it's terrific. Ron is interesting because there are two Kurosawa movies that are sort of loose adaptations of Shakespeare. And the first one is Throne of Blood from I think the 50s is when he made Throne of Blood, which is adapted from Macbeth and is just absolutely phenomenal. One of the greatest films ever made. And then there's Ron, which was Kurosawa's last, like, really major noteworthy film. And that is based on King Lear. So yeah, that's my little history lesson about Kurosawa. But yes, I've seen Kagemusha. I think it's great.
So what do you have coming up?
Well, a couple people mentioned my shirt. I guess it's appropriate that I wore this for this occasion, not just because of what's on wrestling tonight, but my video on Monday will be about AEW. And looking at whether or not it has a diversity problem, which I think is a very relevant issue and is something that a lot of internet wrestling fans have talked about over the last week or so. So that's going to be Monday's video. Will be a look at AEW and its diversity problem. And then a week from today will be the next Trek Actually video, and that will be, so, and again, kind of appropriate since we've talked about a lot of season 2 TNG stuff. The subject of that one will be Dr. Pulaski, and it will be called Why Dr. Pulaski is Actually Pretty Awesome. Because not everybody thinks that. Some people do. I think she had a supporter in the chat earlier, but not everybody thinks so. But
you do.
I do, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm still writing it. I'll probably shoot it on Saturday, so I'll be writing it the rest of this week. But the writing is going really well so far, and I'm very happy with what I have, and I'm looking forward to it.
But you're going to shoot it like Saturday morning, right?
Oh yeah. I'm going to be totally ready. I'm going to be available for your thing. No, I'm not. I'm going to be here at this computer, watching your live stream. This computer.
Not the other one.
Not the other one. This one.
Okay. Not that I'll be able to tell because you'll just be on the chat.
I'll be on the chat, and I'll be right there with you. Yes, starting at 6. Starting at 6.
Okay, let's not think about that.
But yeah. Oh, and also this Friday is Ask Away. So I'll have my live stream on Friday, and then you'll have your first live stream on Saturday.
Dun, dun, dun.
And your live stream is going to be a regular thing. You're going to do it every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
every other Saturday.
Week. Just like you do with yours.
So that's where you got that idea.
Also, I don't think I could do it every Saturday.
It'll be a 1-2 punch. It'll be my Ask Away on Friday and your Saturday 6 on Saturday.
Oh, tough act to follow. I'll just have 6 things that I'll hopefully I'll have 6 things.
255 AD, yes, she is. But that's part of what I don't want to spoil one of my bits in the video. But there's a whole bit in the video about that where I explain that in what will hopefully be an amusing way. But,
Hello, Chief Dancing Ostrich.
Hey, Chief Dancing Ostrich. Arnie, yeah, I think that's part of it. I think part of the reason why Pulaski was never accepted, and again, I'm going to talk about this in the video, so I don't want to go into it too much here, but I think a big reason why
preview for those who are sticking around.
Yeah, I think a big part of why she wasn't accepted at the time was that she wasn't Dr. Crusher. and people missed Dr. Crusher, and they were just mad at her because she wasn't Dr. Crusher. And they just never accepted her for that. And yeah, and of course, she was on the show for a year, and then she left, and they brought back Dr. Crusher. So
if you complained enough, fans learned if you complain enough, you get what you want.
Well,
but no, I had that happen with a teacher. Oh. Like there was a teacher that I really liked, but it turned out she was actually a sub because the other teacher was out on maternity leave. And I got straight A's for that teacher. And then the other teacher came back and I got a B, a C, and a D. I think that was the only time before, all the way through like graduating that I got a D. Here's the thing, Steve.
Yes, Dana.
I was 10 when I threw my little fit, okay? Because I'm like, you're not the teacher I like. As far as I can tell, she was a perfectly good teacher.
Right.
But she wasn't the teacher. Not the teacher I'm used to, not the teacher I like. Ugh.
I bet you were just like Lisa Simpson when you were in elementary school.
Reasonable, practical, and frustrated with everyone around me?
Yes, exactly. See,
what do you mean? Wait. What do you mean? Why are you using the past tense?
Well, that's true. You still are. Yeah. When Lisa grows up, it's going to be you, basically. And yes, Pedro, that was the idea, that Pulaski was going to be a similar character to Bones. Yeah. It's part of why she was so irascible.
Oh my goodness gracious. I forgot that was a Star Trek character.
Bones?
Bones.
Boney? Old Boney?
No, I was thinking like Temperance Brennan.
Oh, the show Bones.
Yes.
Well, she stole it. She stole it from Star Trek Bones.
Steve?
She stole it, yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Ask me if I care.
Okay. Do you care?
No.
I didn't think you did.
Okay.
But for the record, she stole that shit from Star Trek Bones. That was one.
All right.
That we'll wrap up in a second. I just have one more thing to say.
Oh my God!
One of the little like petty annoyances that I still have about the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie, which overall I really like. Like I'm not someone who's down on that movie at all. Like I really like that movie. But one of the things it has like a little bit of like prequel disease where it has to explain things that don't need explanations. Dr. McCoy's nickname in Star Trek was Bones. And the reason he was called that was because he was a doctor, and an old-fashioned word for a doctor is a sawbones. So Captain Kirk called him Bones as a nickname, and that's the explanation for that. And pretty much everybody knew that. So you didn't. It's not like there was people going to see this new Star Trek movie, which was set, prior to the original series, where they were saying, "Gee, I hope they explain why he's called Bones." Well, one of the screenwriters or somebody said, we should explain why he's called Bones, and we should make it an explanation that is not the reason he's called Bones. So what happens is there's a scene where it's the scene where Kirk and McCoy meet for the first time, and they get onto a shuttlecraft, and Kirk has just decided to join Starfleet, and wouldn't you know it, small universe, the guy who sits down right next to him is Dr. McCoy. Wow. And he's McCoy is like, hey, Leonard McCoy, nice to meet you. And he's having a bad day because he's just gotten divorced and he lost everything. His wife took everything in the divorce, and he's drinking out of a whiskey flask. And he says, wife took everything in the divorce. All I got left is my bones. And I'm sitting in the theater going, that's not why he's called Bones. But I guess it is now. But
so is that a continuity issue, Steve?
I mean, technically it's not, because it's a reboot, but it's one of those things.
They changed it and now it sucks.
It doesn't. No, it's.
Are you one of those fans?
It's just a minor irritation. It's the same. No, I'll tell you why. It's the exact same thing with in the Han Solo movie, where they had to give an origin story for his last name. It couldn't just be, well, his name's Han Solo, because people have stupid names because it's Star Wars. It's like, oh no, his name is Han, but they called him Solo because he was getting on this ship one time by himself, so they just wrote Solo. It's like, oh, what? We don't need an origin for his name. Like, do we need to see Luke Skywalker like walking in the sky? And somebody says, well, no, Skywalker, that should be his last like name. Anakin. Like, you're missing the point.
Steve.
Dana.
Ask me if I care.
Oh, I thought that's where we were going with this. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Do you care?
You're so clever. No.
Oh, damn. Anyway,
that's okay though.
Like I said, it's just a little thing that it doesn't spoil the movie for me. I still think it's a really good movie, but it's just one of those little things that I'm just like, it's just bad writing. It's annoying writing. It's annoying writing.
So when there's a continuity error,
it's not a continuity thing.
Then it's bad writing.
It's not a continuity thing. It has nothing to do with continuity. It has to do with like just the
writer.
It
used to be this way, and now it's this way.
That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is they felt the need to explain something that did not warrant explanation.
So they never explained that he was called Bones because he was Sawbones. Just everybody knew it.
Everybody just assumed because that's obviously the reason.
Okay,
yeah, that's obviously the reason. There was never like a conversation where Spock was like, "Why do you call him Bones, Captain?" And Kirk was like, "Well, let me tell you a thing." You know, everybody just sort of assumed, well, he's Bones because he's a doctor.
Yeah, but they didn't do that in the movie either. He just made a comment about, I got nothing left but my bones. But, anyway.
Yeah, anyway. Well, no, 255, your last question. Is it harder to get away with being a Bones type character if you have a Virginia? I guess you mean a vagina there.
He's trying not to get you, expelled.
You could say vagina.
It's just the name of a bodyguard.
Anyway, maybe, I don't know.
Women can be doctors.
Yeah, I've heard that.
A woman can be a Sawbones.
I've heard that riddle.
Yeah. It's old. Like you. I know that it's so much fun to make fun of you for being old.
It sure is.
I think it's funny.
You think it's funny because I'm 2 years younger than you.
Yes.
And and here's the thing. Here's the key.
What?
I'm just going to say this, and because you know that I will not make fun of you for being old. You know that you're completely safe. You know that I'm not saying that you wouldn't, that I couldn't, or that you would be upset. I'm just saying I wouldn't do that.
Oh no, honestly, I didn't. I mean, I accept that you say that.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying. I mean, we have the.
But no, I hadn't known. I mean,
okay.
Now that I think about it, you've never done that, but
I have occasionally.
You don't often make fun of me.
I have occasionally made reference to both of us being old.
Yeah.
But I've never singled you out and made fun of you for being old.
Nope, don't think you have.
I haven't.
Okay.
But now I'm gonna have to think.
I hadn't noticed. I had to think about it.
But now I'm gonna have to think of something.
Well, good luck. I'll see if I can help you out with that. Set something up nicely.
255 AD. It depends on how they're written. I don't think there's anything stopping you or stopping any writer from writing a male character who is gruff and rude and having that be acceptable.
But that's what's his name? The grumpy doctor.
I need more. Oh, House. Yes. That's another doctor. Why is it always doctors who are like the grumpy assholes?
But yeah, he's a grumpy asshole.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know if it's necessarily easier to write that kind of character as a woman. I do have thoughts about the way that Pulaski is written in that way versus the way Bones is written, and that'll be in the video. But anyway, yes. Shall we draw our festivities to a close? So one more time for everybody watching, your first ever live stream, which I will remind people about because I'll mention it on Friday on my live stream. But this Saturday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on your YouTube channel, which is linked in the description of this video. It's youtube.com/Dana Cole Dares. Your first ever live stream this Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. So everybody should watch.
And think of the idea is I'm going to talk about things that in the last, well, it'll be since the new year, but then it'll be the six good things since the last time I did a live stream. So I'm coming up with, I don't have 6 yet, but hopefully by Saturday I will. But I would love it if you are in chat, if you would share about the things that are great in your world.
And I can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And let us not forget
charity links. Yes, indeed. Charity links.
Very important.
Charitylinks.page. So if you have a few extra bucks, you want to help out somebody, the charity links link will take you to a page with a bunch of fundraisers
and opportunities.
Yeah, absolute opportunities to help people who are in a little financial distress who could use a helping hand. So that's a great place to go if you are looking to help somebody out and be generous. Also, don't forget, if you want to be generous to me, you can go to patreon.com/Steve Shives and support this channel with a monthly donation, or just click the join button and become a channel member. And we mentioned,
and if you do,
yes,
don't forget to send in your question for Friday's Ask Away.
That's right. This Friday is Ask Away. So if you are already a patron or a member, you should be able to see in the members only section of my community page here on YouTube or on my Patreon page, the link where you can go to submit your question. And if you are not currently a patron or a member, but you are thinking about it, one of the things you get to do is you get to ask me questions ahead of time for Ask Away. So consider that. All right. I think that's it.
That may be it.
I think so. I'll see you
until next time, fellow nerds.
Take care, fellow nerds. We'll
Live
see
long
you.
And prosper.
Hey, did you just hold up 3 fingers?
Yeah, I did, because I extra mean it.
Oh.
Like if this is live long and prosper, this is really live really long and prosper a lot.
Can you actually do it with can you do the Star Trek salute with your hand? Can
you do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. Is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I can do this.
They only have this many.
Because this is what their hands look like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that.
All right, we're done. Sorry. Bye, everybody, and thank you so much.
See you next time, everybody. Take care.